Hello, my name's Beth, also known as the Live Happy Coach. I help people reconnect with the things that make them happy through one-to-one coaching, workshops, creative workshops, and all sorts of lovely stuff. Thank you for being here today. It is the quarterly check-in, quarter two. I cannot believe it. It is already July. I say it every month. I'm always like, how is it June? Or how is it July, etc. Yeah, always creeps up on me, but I think it's a good reminder of taking that time to stop and reflect and see how far we've come and think about where we want to go next, because I say it loads, but time just passes us by so quickly. So yeah, it's always good to do some reflection time. So yeah, if you haven't watched one of these before, they're in a kind of stop-start format, in the sense of you can work at your own pace. So grab your journal, grab your favourite cup of tea, whatever you need, and basically watch it. But after each question, you can stop it, pause it, do some journaling, do some reflection, whatever works best for you. You might want to write things down, make some notes on your phone, whatever works for you, and then just jump back in. So let's get started. Quarter two, we're reflecting on April, May and June. So a good thing to do here is to split your page or whatever you're using. You might want a new whole sheet of paper, and split it into either columns or however you want to do it, of April, May and June. And then have a little think about what went well, kind of what happened. Sometimes it's good to just remind ourselves of what happened. You might want to look through your camera roll, you might want to look through your calendar. What went well, and then what didn't go so well. So you could maybe make a table, split it in half, whatever feels good as a format for you. We just want to have a little think about what did we enjoy, what filled up our cup, what felt really good, and then maybe what didn't feel so good. So I hope that was good to get that reflection, to have a look back. I think it's always good to, just almost see just what has happened, because it can be such a blur. We can kind of forget what we've done and be like, oh, I don't feel like I've done anything. And then I can be really nicely surprised that actually I've done quite a bit. So hopefully you've been able to reflect on the good, the not so good. That's still really important as well. Not to dwell on it, not to beat ourselves up about it, but just to be aware of what didn't go so well. And you can always look back at this page at any time or wherever you've put it, and just notice any themes that are happening. You know, if you're regularly checking in, doing quarterly check-ins, monthly, whatever you do, we can start to see a pattern, and that's always a good thing to keep an eye on. So our next question is, how do we want to feel in the next quarter? So we're going to be thinking about, what do we want? What are we craving? How do we want to feel in the next 3 months? So thinking about July, August and September, kind of over the summer months, how do you want to feel? And in tuning in with how we want to feel, we're more likely to, make plans around that feeling. And you might want to save it somewhere. You might want to have it on your phone background. I don't know, wherever you want to put it. You might want to have a reminder of how you want to feel. I always ask that question at quarterly check-ins. I think it's really important to think about how we want to feel. But the next step on that is, I want you to write down just 3 things that you can do to get you closer to that feeling. So if it's that you want to feel more relaxed over the next few months, is it, you could book a spa day. You could make sure that you clear some time in your calendar or block it out as time for you. You could make sure that you've got a couple of weekends free. You could, book something with a friend that if you've got that friend who's really chilled out and who keeps you really calm, you might want to spend some time with them and maybe even get a few kind of pointers from them. You know, it's your list. It can be whatever it needs to be for you. But yeah, write down 3 things that you can do, actionable things, easy things that you can do to bring yourself that little bit closer to that feeling that you wanted for the next quarter. Now, I also want you to think about, it's something that we tend to do in appraisals, but something called stop, start, continue. So I want you to think of things that you could maybe take from the what didn't go so well. I want you to think about things you want to stop doing. You know, if the last quarter has been really busy for you, maybe you want to stop filling up your calendar. I know that that's something that I definitely need to work on. Or, you know, you might feel the opposite. You might feel like you haven't done as much fun stuff. So you might want to stop, I don't know, putting stuff in your calendar that's kind of boring, or using your weekend time to do chores maybe, and you might want to try and slot those in on weekdays so that you've got a freer weekend. So yeah, think about things that you want to stop. Think about things that you want to start. And sometimes they come from the stop. They might kind of be the opposite, really, of the stop column. And think about things that you want to continue. So maybe this can come from the things that went well. Is there anything that you want to continue? Like, for example, I started doing a weekly planner, and that's really helped me. It's really helped me stay focused for the week, stay organized. That helps me feel motivated on and just on top of things, really. So I would put continue weekly planner. And in just writing that down, it just reminds me that they're the good stuff that I want to keep doing. And doing that stop, start, continue should help you to feel a bit more ready going into the next quarter of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. And I always think at the end of one of these quarterly sessions, I would always encourage people to look back at what they've written just in this time. Look back at your answers, look back at what you're proud of, what didn't go so well, how you want to feel. And just see, you know, how does that feel? How does that sit with you? You know, does it feel pretty what you thought it was going to be? Are there any surprises? And are there any reminders that you need to give yourself? So I mentioned earlier about maybe having the how you want to feel as your phone background or whatever. But is there anything else that you need reminders of? Maybe a post-it, a little note for yourself. However it best kind of suits you. Is there anything that you need to be reminded of? It might be something really great that's happened and a feeling that you want to remember. You know, you could print off some photos maybe of something that reminds you of that time. There's all sorts of different things that we can do to remind ourselves. Or it could be something more on the more negative side, that you don't want to get into that position again and you want to remind yourself of that. Could be something that you're really proud of and you want to remember that. You might have a little jar and you could write different things, kind of fold them up, put them in, and then look at that at the end of the year. There's all sorts of lovely different ideas that we can do as reminders to ourselves. But that's the real importance, though, of doing these check-ins and having that time to reflect, to think about what we want and kind of where are we going for the next 3 months. And I think doing it in quarterly blocks for me just feels a bit more palatable. It seems a bit easier. It feels a bit easier. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this time of reflection. I hope you're looking forward to the next quarter, whatever that brings for you. Here in the UK, you know, it's the summer. Hopefully, it is the summer, but we're hoping for some nice weather. You know, you might just want to enjoy the summer, and that's fine. We don't need these big goals all the time. You know, it's good to have a bit of a balance. It's nice to have some big things to achieve, but sometimes it's just, maybe you just want to enjoy the hopefully nice British weather, or you might be going on holiday. whatever it is, I hope you have a great next quarter, and I will see you at the next one. If you want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at livehappy_coach. My website is livehappycoach.co.uk. If you'd like to book a discovery call and find out about coaching, then do inquire on my website. I'd love to connect with you. But yeah, I will see you next time. Take care.